Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome into Chicago Bears Now. I am your host, Harrison Graham. Hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. We got a jam-packed show here for you guys. We'll dive into the latest news and rumors. Marcedes Lewis officially back in Chicago. We'll take some of your questions, take a look at a fresh batch of cut candidates after OTAs and minicamp, and then we've got our next Madden simulation as the Bears will take on the Panthers. So all that on tap for you guys here on a Monday afternoon. Let us know where you guys are tuning in from by shouting out your city. Go ahead and let us know where you guys are tuning in from. Jason says, how about them Celtics? Yeah, my Mavs are in trouble, Jason. My Mavs are in trouble, unfortunately. Lacora, Mercedesburg, Illinois. Nice. The Villages, Florida from Malcolm. We got Wasim in Irvine, California. Jaron in Noblesville, Indiana. Omar, you're back at Ayuk's house, Omar? Monty in Arlington, Texas. Zachary in Lincoln, Nebraska. Trump in Tampa, Florida. Fear the Squid in Lathrop, California. Jason, Scotia, New York. We got Denny in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Jesus in McAllen, Texas. Collectibles in Columbus, Georgia. Sharon in Nebraska City. Bob in Palm Bay, Florida. Terry's in Des Moines. We got FR in The Hague, Netherlands. Jay Reezy, Madison. We got D. Burns in San Jose, California. Lacora said didn't watch the game last night. Better game than game one, but Boston still able to pull away a little bit there in the second half. All right, let's bring in producer Cullen to the building as C. Breezy back on the ones and twos. Cullen, Marcedes Lewis back at 40 years old, still one of the better blocking tight ends. Thought this was a pretty good move for a team that has a good 1-2 punch in Kmet and Everett. Just needed that third guy.
You know, in the NFL, you win in the margins. And a move like this is a win in the margins for Chicago. You know, like... Listen, Bears Now wouldn't be what it is without Harrison Graham, but I like to think I'm the Marcedes Lewis of the show. Doing
exactly.
all the little extra dirty work, making sure the show runs smoothly. So, hey, I'm a fan of this move, and I'm a fan of what the Chicago Bears have been doing this offseason.
Yeah, I mean, they've had a busy offseason, made a lot of upgrades. Lewis was a great fit last year in the locker room. Yes, he is 40, Omar, but he's still one of the best blocking tight ends in the game. Going to play between 10 and 20 snaps a game. Help seal the edge, and it's kind of like that extra offensive tackle out there. So I'm a fan of the move. PXI likes it. So does Wasim, Dana, Danny, Denny. We got Richard in there, Edward, Malcolm Graham, Sharon, another Josh, all saying me. I think it's a good move. Yeah. Live poll, yes or no. Go vote there. I'm glad to have him back. Vet minimum deal. He takes care of his body. I like the move. There's really no downside here. Like if something happened and he got hurt or something, it's not the end of the world. But I think I think he fills a need. You didn't have a good number 3 guy on the roster, so I think he plays his role perfectly. Jaron Thomas, Foxtrot, Trump, Travis, Kenny, all saying me as well. So there you have it. Marcedes Lewis back in the fold. So speaking of which. With Marcedes Lewis back, name a free agent the Bears should sign next. I know a lot of people are going to say bring back Yannick Ngakoue. I would like to see it be Calais Campbell. Who knows what he's holding out for in terms of cost, but certainly need a pass rusher. That would be the next move I would make, whoever it is. So let us know who you guys want. Lucas says Ngakoue. Jesus says me. I think that was in reference to the last one. Edward says an edge. Wasim, Calais Campbell, Fear the Squid, bring back Ngakoue. Energy feels different this year. I know, man. We got to see it to believe it, but there's no reason to not be optimistic. James Harrison. How long has he been out of the league? About 8 years?
Jeez.
How long? Let me see. James Harrison.
That's a name right there.
Last played in the NFL in 2017.
Not too bad.
7 years. Is he in the Hall of Fame?
James Harrison? I don't think so.
He only had 84 sacks. I don't think he's in.
I don't think he is.
I don't think he's in.
Yeah.
Connor Williams on a discount. Yeah, that would be later, I think. He's still recovering from ACL, but I'd be open to him for sure. Ngakoue from Dana. Jamal Adams is a backup. The problem is Jamal Adams, like, A, he can't cover it all. B, he's kind of a headache to deal with. Like, it'd be one thing if he wasn't just an egomaniac for being a very average at best player. I mean, Colin can tell you. He's watched a lot of Seahawks football. I think the Jamal Adams days of being a relevant player are in the rearview mirror.
Yeah, no. The way the Bears are trending right now, Jamal Adams would not be a move in the positive direction. To me, honestly, if you were to set the over and under for like 12 games played for Jamal Adams, you would have to really consider how many of those he'd actually play. So
no question.
It's a rough one for sure. I wouldn't recommend them.
Lucas says Hardman, he re-signed with the Chiefs last week. Kadarius Toney, he's still with the Chiefs. Julio Jones, does Julio sign with the team again this year? We'll see. Yeah. Ogba or Carl Lawson, I'd take either of those guys. Yeah. Calais Campbell from William. Yeah, I think it's pass rusher.
It's got to be.
Is right? Richard Dent still available? He had a good run, but I don't think he's rushing the passers these days. All right, before we jump into our show, hit that like button if you love the Bears, if you're excited for today's show, as we are going to cover everything Bears related that is going on. Let's get some more likes in there. We got 169 people watching. Nice. Let's get more likes. We got 32 right now. Danny says, I believe Ryan Poles would come up with the perfect fit. I don't know who the perfect fit is at this point, but, there's guys up there that can raise the floor of this pass rush. So I think they'll sign somebody. Wasim, we need a new like monster. Roley used to be the like monster, Cullen. So, okay. I'll send you some tape that gotcha. You can. We'll get Cullen in the film room,
there we go.
We'll see. We'll see what that looks like. But once we get to 60 likes, we'll get started here. Michael says he was the 32nd like. Attaboy, Michael. We got Richard liking the show. Should have signed Brady back in 2020. Tom Brady was never going to sign with the Bears because he wasn't going to go to a cold weather place when he left New England. That's pretty well documented. Yeah, Roley still works here. He just is full-time on air. That's why. Yeah. That's why. All right, here we go. This is what's coming up on today's show. We cover the latest news and rumors, more on Marcedes Lewis returning to Chicago on a one-year deal. Very excited about that. We'll take your questions, #Bears or Super Chat, to get your questions answered on today's show. So if you have a question, use the #Bears or Super Chat like Tito did. We'll lead off with him once we get to our mailbag coming up. We can flash it real quick too, Colin, if you want.
Okay.
He says, have you seen a video of Caleb Williams throwing the ball to Keenan Allen and him saying, hell no, because it was short? People already trying to hate on Caleb, so annoying. The little out route that was a little low and behind him, I've seen the video. I haven't seen a lot of people complaining, but everybody nitpicks everything, Tito. Just the world we live in. It's reality, so appreciate that. And then the Notcast, appreciate the Super Chats. If you Super Chat, guaranteed to get on the show. I can look into that, the Notcast. It's part of the YouTube audio library. They provide a lot of music that you're allowed to use, so I can look into that and try to get back to you on that. So appreciate the love, though, the Notcast. But busy show coming up. We'll also do some cut candidates and get into our Madden Week 5 stream. All right, here we go. Once C Breezy is ready to rock and roll, we're going to get into our first segment, latest Bears news and rumors.
Let's get into it.
Whoa, Horowitz. Welcome into Chicago. Bears now. Marcedes Lewis has officially re-signed on a one-year contract. Plus, Zacch Pickens, can he break out this year? We'll get to both those stories coming up on today's show. If you're watching live, yes, Michael Horowitz, we see you. We will get to that after this segment. Get the booms going in the chat. We're almost there, by the way. We're trying to get to 94,000 subscribers. Be sure to subscribe and help us reach our next milestone. We're just 135 subscribers away. Almost there. Tell a friend. Let's get to 94K as soon as possible. Okay, let's start with the news of the day. Marcedes Lewis is officially back in the fold. He has signed a one-year deal with the Chicago Bears. Bears tweeting it out saying, Big Dog is back. Let's get it at Marcedes Lewis 89. And it's a good move. Like, there's a picture of him signing the one-year contract to return to Chicago. Shout out to Jay Glazer, who had the report yesterday that he would be re-signing with the Bears, being Hallis Hall here on Monday. And don't downplay this signing. Do not downplay this signing by Chicago because he's still a good player. We outlined this yesterday. I'll outline it here today. He could still play, and more importantly, he fills a need as that number 3 blocking tight end on this football team. There's no question about it. Cole Kmet's your most complete tight end. He's in his prime. He can catch. He can block. He got extended last year, well-deserved. He's that top guy. Gerald Everett, guy who can be a reliable pass catcher, gives you yards after the catch, can work the seam. He's in there as well. And then you have Marcedes Lewis. You couldn't go to battle with Steven Carlson, Tommy Sweeney, or Brendan Bates having to play real snaps. I just don't think that is a real option for Chicago, so you bring back Marcedes Lewis, a.k.a. the big dog, and he returns. You look at the PFF grades, he grades out well, man. He blocks good, 73.7 run blocker. He's kind of an extra tackle out there. He's not going to catch many passes. I think he had 4 or 5 catches for the 1 touchdown last year, but he's got reliable hands if you need to dump it off to him if absolutely needed. So, look, it's not a sexy signing, not a flashy signing, but it's an impactful one. There's no question about it. And these were 5 reasons why I like this signing. He's an excellent blocker, which I've already mentioned. He's an extra lineman out there, especially in obvious rundowns. It takes pressure off Kmet. Kmet was pretty beat up by the end of last year because with Robert Tonyan being so ineffective as that number 2, and with Marcedes Lewis at his age, he obviously can't play big snaps. Kmet had to play almost every down last year, so he was pretty beat up by the end of the season. Great asset in the locker room. Guys loved him last year. Kmet talked about the wisdom he took away from being teammates with Lewis, so he can offer that to the young players. He's familiar with Shane Waldron's scheme. Not a big change up in what he's been used to playing in with Green Bay and Chicago the last few years. And again, Steven Carlson and the other guys just not it. Like, they're practice squad caliber players. So, Lewis is back in the fold. I think it's a win-win for everyone. It's a good fit for him to play the role he plays at this point in his career, and also it's an ideal third tight end for Chicago. Everybody's happy, and he gets in earlier this year. Last year he signed after training camp start. This year he's in about a month out from training camp, 5 weeks, whatever it is. If you're excited to have Marcedes Lewis back, go ahead and type me down in the comment section down below. If you're excited to get Marcedes Lewis back in the fold, type me in the comments. And by the way, if you want more on the Marcedes Lewis re-signing, we broke this down yesterday on the channel. If you see this thumbnail, this is the video. So hit subscribe, go to the content tab. More analysis and detail to why I think it's an excellent fit. So feel free to go check that out. Today's show is sponsored by Mando. Listen, you don't want to be smelly. You don't want to be nasty. That's where Mando comes into play. Step up to the plate and take your personal hygiene more seriously with the Mando Whole Body Deodorant. Developed by a doctor, this game-changing formula is safe for your entire body and knocks out odor like a champ. Mando is made with mandelic acid, which picks off the odor at the source, keeping you fresh for up to 72 hours. It is available in solid sticks, invisible cream, body wash, cleaning bars, and deodorant wipes for on-the-go use. Don't let foul balls ruin your game. Switch to Mando and keep your body odor in fair territory. You can get $5 off at shopmando.com with code CHAT. That's $5 off with code CHAT at shopmando.com. Through my invisible cream behind the camera to my guy C Breezy so he can get hooked up with Mando as well. I've been using them for a while. You should too. Shopmando.com. Promo code CHAT gets you $5 off. That link is in the comments and in the description of this video. We appreciate Mando for sponsoring today. If you're a male out there, get going with Mando right now. Okay, let's talk defensive line. Zacch Pickens, can he have a breakout season in year 2 in 2024? I think he's got an opportunity to play at least a bigger role this season. Now, he's still not penciled in to be a starter at this point as of now. The favorites there, obviously Andrew Billings is going to be your starting nose. Gervon Dexter, your starting 3-tech. You got Zacch Pickens is your kind of clear number 3 defensive tackle. Then you got question marks, Keith Randolph, Michael Dwumfor, Byron Coar, a lot of guys who kind of just fighting for roster spots. But I think we've talked a ton about Gervon Dexter this offseason, and not for bad reason. Like, with Justin Jones gone, he is the expected candidate to fill in and start, and Matt Eberflus has talked about him a lot. So is Eric Washington, Montez Sweat. But don't forget about Zacch Pickens, who was taken just a round later. Like, I think he's got an opportunity too, and quite frankly, the Bears need him to contribute. Like, he's their third defensive tackle right now. Like, they need answers on the interior of that defensive line, and if he could provide a punch and take another step forward, that would be huge for this front four on this defense that ideally doesn't have to blitz as much as it did a year ago. Who will have the bigger 2024 season? Type GD for Gervon Dexter, ZP for Zacch Pickens. Let us know in the comment section right now. I think most would say Dexter, but both these guys still a little bit unproven. Last year, didn't play a ton, right? Raw stats, had the half sack. One forced fumble, I remember that play. That was a nice one. 20 tackles. He played okay overall. He was kind of the fourth defensive tackle last year behind Jones, Billings, and obviously Dexter. You look at the PFF grades also. 62.9 pass rush grade from PFF. That's pretty solid. Run defense, not very good. Played 263 snaps. So, he was playing 10 to 15 snaps a game depending on the matchup. I think one issue I see, and I vaguely remember saying this when they drafted these guys close to each other, is that based on body profile and what Pickens' skill set is, he's really more built like a three-tech, and they played him as the backup nose last year. He's right around 295, 300, 305 pounds. That's not really a nose tackle build, and that's why I think you see the run defense grade there. It's like he's just not very effective at all. I think he's a better pass rusher than run stopper. So I wonder if he, whether it's this year or long term, becomes the backup three tech or kind of rotates more over there, because I don't think he can handle 330-pound guards. I just don't. So three tech, maybe even kicking out the edge every once in a while, I think is probably a better fit for him. So I think it's something to watch for once the pads come on in training camp and obviously into the season, is what exactly his role is, because I think he's better used in spots where he can be a more effective pass rusher. Now, what do you think the bigger need on the Bears defensive line is right now? Do you think it's defensive tackle? If so, type DT, or if you think it's edge, just type edge. Right there. You can really go either way. I think signing a solid pass rusher would raise the floor of this front four as a whole, but there are question marks at both of those positions. All right, appreciate everybody for tuning in to our Bears News and Rumors segment here. Welcome back, Marcedes Lewis, the OG, and we'll see if they sign someone next along that defensive line. Be sure to subscribe and don't miss out on any coverage. We got a $100 super chat from Michael Horowitz. Boom! He says, "What's up, Harrison? How is the little guy?" He's doing great, Michael. Appreciate you asking. Turns 14 months in a couple days, so he's getting bigger every day, man. Appreciate you tuning in. You're a real one. Already put a sticker on here for you. I'll write your name, and there you go. Appreciate the support you continue to show us here on Chicago Bears Now. Oh, I didn't even see this one. Coming in from Brian. Boom! He says, "Hey, Harrison, thanks for the up-to-date Bears news this offseason. Keep it up. I look forward to it." Appreciate that, Brian, showing the love. Let me get you a sticker as well. As shout out to Brian and Horowitz today, man. They are bringing the heat here on today's show. So appreciate that, and let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. The Notcast with the 5, appreciate you as well. He says, "Can you give a hypothetical record if Caleb Williams pulls an A-Rod and Tyson has to start every game?" I don't know what you mean. Like steroids? I don't know what reference you're saying there. Could we see a Purdy scenario with how elite our offense is? I mean, people kind of said that last year. I get Brock Purdy's not the most talented guy ever. I do think he has more talent than Tyson Bagent. I think the way he's able to layer footballs and see the field quickly. Now, I think Tyson does a good job of getting the ball out and finding him as an undrafted free agent to be at least a decent backup, it looks like. I think is solid, but I think he could be effective with these weapons, but does he give you a higher ceiling with Caleb Williams? I just don't see there being any scenario where that's the case. So, listen, if you're Tyson Bagent, you prepare like you're the starter because you're one snap away from being in there. That's the reality of the situation. So, if he has to play, hopefully he plays well. He went 2-2 last year as a starter. All right, hashtag Bears or Super Chat to get your questions answered on the show. Hashtag Bears or Super Chat. Get those questions in. See it right there. Shout out to Jay Reezy. Yeah, get the booms in the chat. Ooh, get the booms in the chat. Let me see. Wasim says edge. Cannibal says edge. Dana with a hashtag Bears question. We'll get to that.
Nice. Yeah, they're coming in with the questions today.
Did you get my Slack?
Let me see.
Check that real quick. I just need that for the next. For the
Yep.
2 seconds from now.
Yeah, I got you.
Appreciate that. Fear the Squid says edge. Andre says edge. Defensive line could get Donald. I assume you mean Aaron Donald. I think he's done. I think he's done. And even if he unretired, he's under contract with the Rams if he did. So, missed out on Danielle Hunter. I mean, yeah, they clearly didn't want to pay that money. I also think he took a slight discount with the Texans because of the state income tax situation. There was some chatter about that. So, who knows? Who knows? Preach. 1 second here. All right. We'll get to your mailbag questions very shortly here. Shout out to Petey and Andre getting their questions in. Hashtag Bears or Super Chat. Richard says, or has a question as well. Johnny's saying defensive tackle. We got Johnny Chimpo. Tyson greater than JF Bum. We don't have to give Justin Fields some strays today. We don't have to give Justin Fields some strays today. Doesn't have to happen. By the way, apparently Buster Only got hacked. Thoughts and prayers. Oh, man. All right, here we go. We're going to get into our mailbag segment, and then coming up after that, we got some Bears cut candidates, so stay tuned. We begin our Bears Now mailbag with a question from Matt Forte. Shout out to the legend. He says, with Marcedes Lewis back in the fold, who should the Bears sign next? So I got 5 guys I'm monitoring here with this question. Calais Campbell continues to be my top guy. Gives you some 3-tech edge, kind of hybrid ability there. Been productive in recent years. Yannick Ngakoue had a down year with the Bears, but I still think he'd be a good fit. Knows the scheme. He's been training. Appears to be healthy. Emmanuel Ogbah, another edge that I would be open to as well. He's had some injuries the last couple of years, but he's still pretty solid. Connor Williams later on, potentially, depending on, A, when he's healthy, and B, what the interior of the offensive line looks like. I got big questions at center and right guard entering training camp. And then a guy we haven't talked about a ton, but Abdullah Anderson. I think he's the, unless you want to put Calais Campbell into that interior defensive line category. After him, Abdullah Anderson, I think, is the best interior defensive lineman still out there. Has graded well per PFF the last few years, so he could be a decent rotation guy as well. Who should it be? Name a free agent the Bears should sign next. Who do you guys think Chicago should bring on board? I would like to see someone along that defensive line, whether it's an edge or a defensive tackle. Then, again, later on, keep an eye on Connor Williams. PD is next up here. Does Dom Rob make this roster? And if not, who would take his spot? Dominic Robinson. I mean, the way I'm looking at edge rusher, I mean, obviously Montez Sweat's going to make this team. DeMarcus Walker's going to make this team. Those are 2 that are locks. Austin Booker's a lock as a rookie, 5th-round pick. So that's 3. A, it depends how many they carry, and B, how does Dom Rob look? I mean, he's kind of in that next grouping of himself. You've got Jacob Martin, who they signed in free agency. They also have Khalid Kareem as well. I still think they might sign a veteran. So if you're Dom Rob, you're hoping the Bears don't sign one of these vets, because if you do, be on the outside looking in. The Notcast, can you give a hypothetical record if Caleb Williams pulls an A-Rod and Tyson has to start every game? Could we see a party scenario with how elite our offense is? Appreciate the super chat. I think you're more so saying with how the weapons are, could he come in there and kind of just be like this elite game manager? I think it's maybe a possibility. To Purdy's level, that's probably asking a lot. I do think Purdy has limitations, but he's been pretty good for San Francisco. And, I'm excited about Waldron, but Kyle Shanahan's way more proven as a play caller. And two, let's not put a scenario in the air with Caleb Williams gets hurt or gets popped using roids. Is that the reference you're using with A-Rod? I'm not sure. But he's got to stay ready, Bajent does. He's one snap away from being the starter. So, the Bears are lucky to have him as an undrafted free agent. Doesn't cost very much. Subscribe and join us if you want to be a part of these live mailbags. You got to join us live every Monday and Thursday, 5 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Central Time. So hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and this is when we answer your questions. ACG with the $5 super chat. Did you see the Windy City Prods Hard Knocks intro, counting down the days for the season? Can't wait. Yeah, he does a nice job with those video montage, hype videos, whatever you want to call them. Good dude. I've talked to him a couple times. So, he's very good at that stuff as a video editor. Very talented guy. So that hyped me up. I mean, I think I quote tweeted it, and I said something like, HBO should just pay him for the intro. I mean, you don't even need a different one. So it's pretty cool. I can't wait for Hard Knocks. Lucas Prang, would you trade a third for Josh Sweat at the deadline? Potentially, yeah. I mean, he was a guy that the Bears were, kind of rumored to potentially trade for, and, things kind of got settled there in Philadelphia. But I think the Bears will certainly be a team again at the deadline that's looking to upgrade its roster, and a pass rusher might be a position where they do that, depending on how it's performing, the first half of the season. Get yourself a Caleb Williams jersey. We're hoping he performs well this season. Chatsports.com/Caleb. That link is in the comments and in the description. You got the navies, the whites, the oranges available to pre-order right now. Should get them before the start of the season. Click and shop today at chatsports.com/Caleb. Plenty of sizes available for pre-order right now. Chatsports.com/Caleb. Hey, could even be an early Christmas present for somebody. That way you don't have to worry about it last minute in December like I usually do. Edward, who is our kick returner this year? If Velus Jones makes the team, I 100% expect him to be the kick returner. If he doesn't, you got options like Khalil Herbert. You could look at a guy like Tyler Scott potentially. I wouldn't rule out some other names, but I think those are a few guys. But if Velus is on the team, he will absolutely be returning kicks. Mike Nintendo Master, any undrafted free agents to make the 53-man roster? I mean, the one guy I predicted after they signed their UDFAs was Keith Randolph, but didn't hear his name much at OTAs or minicamp, so we'll see if when the pads go on if he's able to show something. But Ian Wheeler's another name I'd throw out there, the running back. He's shown some pop as a special teamer early on here, so maybe he's a guy that makes the team as a depth special teams, running back hybrid. Xavier Soup. Then we'll get to ACG's super chat. He says, does a deal for Tevin Jenkins look similar to what we gave Nate Davis? Cut Davis next season, pay Jenkins, and slide Bates or Karan Amagaji or a rookie in Nate's spot. All that's possible. I think if Jenkins has a healthy year, though, and plays well, he'll get more than Davis, which was 3 years and $30 million. I think he'd get at least 15 a year because the guard market has exploded. Now, that's very much dependent on him having a healthy year. If he's banged up again, then you probably would get him on a discount. So keep that in mind. But yeah, unless Davis comes out and plays well this year and shows he is a reliable and good player consistently, he probably gets cut next year because it's only a $2 million dead cap penalty. ACG super chat, appreciate it. Do you think they look to keep or sign another safety to back up Brisker or Byard, or do you think they're comfortable with Hicks? Well, they did sign one. Jonathan Owens, the husband of Simone Biles, has been primarily a starter the last couple of years with the Texans, then the Packers. He started like over 30 games. So kind of an ideal third safety. Not great as a full-time starter, but if he has to step in and play, pretty good as that number 3 guy. So I think he's your third safety, and then Hicks is, battling with guys like Tarvarius Moore and others to make this team as the 4th safety. I would think he makes it because A, he has experience, and B, he's a pretty good special teams player. Who's your favorite current Bears player? Currently on the roster at this exact moment. If you had to pick one guy, who is it? Drop his name in the comments below. I would go either DJ Moore or Jalen Johnson. That could become Caleb Williams pretty quickly, but want to see him play first. Bears goated. Do the Bears have the best skill position groups in the league on offense and defense? It's hard to see that without games being played. On paper, it's pretty damn good. I think this back seven's one of the best in the NFL. Secondary is awesome. Linebacker group's really good. And then your receivers and tight ends are terrific on paper. Got to see them all play, though, together. But it's very possible that they're among the tops in the league at skill group positions on both sides of the football. Fear the Squid, looking ahead at the QBs in our division. What is your early comp to J.J. McCarthy and Jordan Love? Want to know who we'll be dealing with the next decade. I mean, I don't think he's as good as Rodgers, but he kind of plays like him, right? Jordan Love can flick that wrist. It's a strong arm. He's mobile. Hopefully he's not as good as Rodgers was, but he finished last season on a heater. I would say Love is a more reckless Rodgers, like more turnovers certainly, but that's kind of his play style. Maybe he's more like Favre in that sense, where like he's going to make a lot of big plays, but he's going to have a lot of turnovers too. Who knows? Unfortunately, it looks like another good Packers quarterback, but he was up and down last year, so we got to see him do it for a full season. McCarthy, I think if he becomes high-level Alex Smith, that's probably a success for Minnesota. I don't think he's quite the runner Smith was, but pretty close. Good athlete. Slightly stronger arm, but not probably as accurate. So we'll see. I think McCarthy needs to sit for a year. I still think he's pretty raw. Not a lot of attempts in college based on the offense he was playing with. So I think those are like high-end comps for those two, obviously. Jaron Thomas, what week do you see Caleb Williams have at his breakout game? I mean, hopefully week 1. Tennessee on paper is not a great team, so hopefully he balls out. But in terms of like a big-time game where it's like, okay, this guy's arrived, you got an opportunity in week 2 down in Houston against C.J. Stroud and the boys. You go out there, go toe-to-toe with Stroud, that would make a statement. Against the Rams in week 4, that's another option as well. The Notcast, could you see a Sanborn breakout? He gets no love. I mean, define breakout, because I would argue he kind of is what he is, right? He's a good linebacker. He's never going to be great because he has limited athleticism, but he's never going to be a bad player because he's a very instinctive player. He's a great number 3 linebacker who I think can be a really good number 2. Like, don't get me wrong, the ceiling and the upside of Tremaine Edmonds and T.J. Edwards is definitely better than just T.J. Edwards and Jack Sanborn, but if it was just Edwards and Sanborn, you could get by with that pairing. There's no doubt in my mind. So great luxury as your number 3 guy, can step in and be a full-time starter if needed. Follow me on Instagram if you have any more questions. It's at HGramNFL. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the support you guys continue to show me as we continue to grow, as we cover more Bears content. We'll continue to provide all of that here on the channel, but also on social media at HGramNFL. All right, favorite current Bears player. I'll get some shout-outs here. Yeah. Cullen, you got one for us? Favorite current Bears player?
Favorite? Well, I'll give you 2. I think because one's kind of cheating. I've always been a fan of Keenan Allen as a player, so naturally.
Yeah, I have too. I've always liked him.
He's a beast. I think he's going to be a really productive, really key part of Chicago's offense this year. But I also like your pick of Jalen Johnson. I think he's one of the more underrated players in the league. He got his money. I'm happy for him, so those would probably be my 2 names, to be honest.
Sam Lecterra says Josh Dobbs. We were messaging about this Dobbs thing, Lecterra. I'm not sure what the play is here. A lot of DJ Moores, Jalen Johnson's. Petey says Roshan Johnson. Montez Sweat from Jam Cuber. Luctera. DJ backwards is JD. Parentheses, Josh Dobbs. Tevin Jenkins from Foxtrot. Montez Sweat from ACG. Torrey Taylor, the punter, from Jason M. Tyreek Stevenson from Denny. Tyreek Stevenson is my favorite second-year player. Kid's a dog. Roma Dunze. A couple of Jaquan Briskers from Andre and Fear the Squid. DJ and Komet from NFL Productions. Jalen Waddle from Jonathan. Slam Donkey says DJ Moore and Cairo Santos. Adam White, TJ Edwards. Christian says Kevin White. Pat Scales from J-Dubs. Good old Pat Scales, the long snapper. Gotta love it. The Notcast says Nate Davis. I don't know if I believe you. Dante Pettis. He's good, Petey. He's in the other room probably getting ready for a Dolphins show.
Yeah.
Cole Komet from Sergio. Oh, happy early birthday, Mike. Tyree Carter from Andre. Shout out to you, Andre. All right, so here's what we got coming up here. In about 15 minutes, we get into our Madden Week 5 sim as the Bears take on, who we got this week?
Panthers.
Got to win that one. And we'll do that. And then right now, we're going to get into some post-OTAs and minicamp cut candidates for the Bears, some players that I think could be in trouble heading into training camp. Let's get to it. You're watching Chicago Bears Now. I've got 5 Bears cut candidates that I believe could be in trouble after OTAs and minicamp have come and gone. So let's explore a fresh list of cut candidates. Number 1, I think a pretty obvious one based on a recent transaction, Stephen Carlson, the tight end. I think on paper he was in line to be that number 3 guy, but it was always lurking out there that Marcedes Lewis could re-sign as this team's number 3 tight end behind Cole Komet and Gerald Everett. That obviously officially took place on Monday. The report from Jay Glazer on Sunday that Lewis is likely going to re-sign. And that's bad news for Stephen Carlson and I think the other depth tight ends. If I had to guess, I think the Bears carry 3 on their 53-man roster. Top 3 are pretty clear. And then maybe 1 or 2 of these guys makes the practice squad. Stephen Carlson was on the practice squad last year in 2023, so if they want to keep him there, they can do so, but they may opt to go young too. Maybe a guy like Brendan Bates, UDFA, they keep him on the practice squad, so who knows. I know Carlson had a touchdown at minicamp last week, so he's certainly going to continue to fight and compete, but I think that signing, not a great sign for him because there's really no scenario where he's one of your top 3 guys. So to make this roster, the Bears would have to carry 4 tight ends, which they have in the past, and some teams do carry 4. So we'll have to wait and see. If you're excited for Bears training camp to ramp up the competition, all that to be here, type me in the comments down below. I know I'm ready. It's nice to kind of, relax a little bit over the next month and change before training camp, but I'm ready for that to be here because that's when things really get going. So spam me in the comments if you're excited for Bears training camp. Next up is Larry Borom, the offensive lineman who's entering the final year of his rookie contract. I think we mentioned him on a prior cut candidates video, but I think it's worth mentioning here again. While there's still questions on this offensive line, especially center and right guard, what has undoubtedly improved is the depth with guys like Coleman, Shelton, and Bates being here. I think Matt Pryor is an interesting name. He's gotten work with the ones at right guard. He can also play tackle. So I think that versatility from Matt Pryor and the fact that he's getting starting reps over Borom, I thought that was pretty telling at OTAs and at minicamp that he was in there some when Nate Davis was absent because Borom's played some guard in the past too, and he wasn't getting in there. Also, what does that mean for Tyree Carter? That Pryor was getting some work at guard too. I think what's unfortunate for Borom is he hit a escalator this offseason, which raised his cap hit for this year. That actually probably hurts him in terms of making the team because the Bears can save over $3 million if they cut him, and at best, he's your 8th or 9th offensive lineman? So even if there's a guy that's slightly worse than him, they might go with that player for the final offensive lineman because freeing up $3 million for a guy who may never play is pretty significant. So I think Borom's in trouble. I don't think he makes this team, and I think he'll be playing for a different team in 2024. Now, shout out to Mando for sponsoring today's episode of Chicago Bears Now. Baseball season has been underway for a few months, and I'll tell you something. Nobody likes a foul ball, just like no one likes a smelly dude. That's where Mando comes into play. Step up to the plate right now and take your personal hygiene more seriously with the Mando Whole Body Deodorant. This is developed by a doctor. This game-changing formula is safe for your entire body and knocks out odor like a champ. Mando is made with mandelic acid, which picks off odor at the source, keeping you fresh for up to 72 hours. You can get Mando in solid sticks, invisible cream, body wash, cleaning bars, and deodorant wipes for on-the-go use. Don't let foul balls ruin your game. Switch to Mando right now and keep that ball in fair territory. I got the invisible cream right here, which I highly recommend. I also recommend the entire starter pack, which you can get, for $5 off at shopmando.com with code CHAT. Code CHAT at shopmando.com. You can get $5 off the starter pack, which essentially equates to 40% off. So go check that out today. Shopmando.com. Promo code CHAT. That link and promo code are available in the comments and description of this video, so you don't forget. Get started with Mando. You are not going to regret it, fellas. All right, Dante Pettis, the wide receiver. Our last cut candidates, I opted to go with Velus Jones. I'm going to flip it to Dante Pettis here because I think based on the reports we've heard at Halisald, guys who have been at the practices on a daily basis, I think Velus is ahead of Pettis so far. I'm not saying there's a wide gap, but I think he's got the upper hand, and I just get the feeling that one of these guys will be on the team and the other one won't, because you've got your core three, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze. There's no scenario where those three guys aren't on the team unless one of them has a season-ending injury. Knock on wood, that doesn't happen. Tyler Scott, barring the worst training camp of all time, is going to make the team because they just drafted him last year. So if you're going to carry 5 or 6, I guess if they carry 6 in theory, it could be Velus and Pettis, but those two and Tyler Scott's skill sets overlap quite a bit. It wouldn't shock me if they opted to go with a guy like Colin Johnson, or maybe someone else gets cut on a different team that they decide to poach. Like, there's a lot of different directions this thing could go. So I think Velus is ahead of Pettis right now, has shown some improvements, it would appear. Now, again, he needs to do it in training camp and in preseason, but we'll have to wait and see. Pettis is going to have to significantly outplay Jones, I would say, just because they did invest a third-round pick in Velus a couple of years ago. How many wide receivers do you guys think will make the Bears' 53-man roster? If it's 6, you're feeling better if you're Velus and Pettis. If it's 5, you're pretty concerned, because I think the top 4 are pretty set with Tyler Scott as that 4th guy. So let me know in the comments, 5, 6, maybe you think they go 7. Some teams do. That's a lot. I'd be surprised if it was 7. Couple more cut candidates after minicamp. Travis Homer, who you could save a couple of $1 million by cutting him as well. I think there's 2 primary reasons why Travis Homer could be in trouble. Number 1, I don't think Khalil Herbert's going anywhere. When you got the team tweeting out clips of him catching screen passes and running for big yardage and stuff like that, I just get the feeling he's going to be a part of this team, be a part of this rotation. There was some chatter. Maybe they trade him, try to get something for him since he's in the last year of his rookie deal, make Roschon RB2. That remains to be seen. I think he'll be here. And then 2, UDFA Ian Wheeler, especially in OTAs, he's shown some pop. He can catch the football. He's got return experience. He can play on special teams. Ian Wheeler can, so I think that helps his chances of pushing for a roster spot. Or better yet, you cut Homer, keep Wheeler on the practice squad because a UDFA rookie on the practice squad versus Travis Homer, who's a vet at this point, and you only get so many vets on the practice squad. Like, if it's close, I don't think Wheeler's getting poached by a different team. He can be on your practice squad. If you need to elevate him on an occasional game day, you could certainly do that as well. Last one here, Keith Randolph Jr., the defensive tackle out of Illinois. I was hyping him up after the draft as an undrafted free agent. And look, that could still be the case. He could certainly show out in training camp, but I haven't heard a single thing about him through rookie minicamp, OTAs, or mandatory minicamp. Not one. So that doesn't mean he's been bad. It just means he hasn't flashed, at least to the point where people are reporting on it. So I like the pickup because, A, you need depth there, and, a lot of draft experts had him as like a 6th-round caliber pick, and he went undrafted. So I was like, okay, local kid, Illinois. Bears threw him some guaranteed money, like a couple $100,000. I was like, all right, he has a chance. And he still does, obviously. Training camp hasn't even gotten here yet, but I'm just surprised we haven't heard a peep out of this guy. Like, I expected to be like, oh, Keith Randolph flash there. Like, none of that has happened. So I think he really needs to pop when the pads go on. Like, we need to see some playmaking from him on the interior of that defensive line at training camp and some plays in the preseason, because if not, reality is he's probably not going to make this team. But I still think that 4th defensive tackle spot is up for grabs, and he's got the opportunity to be that guy. Now, name a player that you don't want cut. Like someone that you're like, yeah, I know he could be cut, but I personally do not want him cut. Like maybe you're loyal to Velus Jones. Maybe you want Keith Randolph to make this team, or someone that you're worried could be on the chopping block that you don't want to be on the chopping block. Let me know who that player is in the comments of this video. All right. Appreciate everybody for tuning in to Chicago Bears. Now, training camp's going to be hectic. Roster battles. Guys are going to get cut. The competition's going to be hot and heavy, so prepare yourselves for it and subscribe for more videos. All right. Name a player you don't want cut. Excuse me.
I'm not going to lie. After you're all good there, man?
Yeah, down the wrong pipe there.
Yeah, hate when that happens. I'm not going to lie. I'll stake my claim in this now because I know it's somewhat a hot button issue. I want Velus to stay on this team.
With the new kickoff rule, he's pretty intriguing because he's one of the better kickoff return guys in terms of average. It's just there just hasn't been many returns the last few years. But with this new rule, there's going to be a lot more. Yeah. Jonathan, don't cut Caleb. Unless he kills somebody, he ain't getting cut. Like, it would have to be the extreme of extreme scenarios. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's not going to happen. What is going to happen is our Madden Week 5 simulation as the Bears are at home against the Panthers to play in Week 5 and improve to 4-1. Cullen, we ready to go behind the scenes here? Get this thing started?
Ready whenever you are, man.
All right, let's get to it. Stick around. Bears, Panthers in our Madden Week 5 sim. Week 5 of our Chicago Bears 2024 Madden simulation schedule is here as the Carolina Panthers come to town with a 1-3 record to take on your Chicago Bears, who are 3-1. This is the easiest game on the schedule, in my opinion. Carolina at home. You've got a month under Caleb Williams' belt. This is a game you should take care of business in. So predict the score for us. Who you got winning this one? And let us know what the final score is going to be of Bears versus Panthers. I have not seen these sims. I'm watching them for the first time just like you. I will predict Bears 27, Panthers 16 at Soldier Field. Now, you look at how things have gone so far. 2-1 against the 3 AFC South opponents to start the year. Got Jacksonville next week, so that division will be wrapped up. You've got the win over the Rams as well. Panthers today. The next game will be on Thursday if you're watching live against the Jags. Then you got the bye week, and then rookie v. rookie, Caleb Williams against Jaden Daniels. That one will be fun. And then second half of the schedule, Arizona all the way to the second matchup with Green Bay in Week 18. Those are the projected dates of when we will do these streams. That is subject to change based on schedules, etc. But as of now, that is where things sit. All right, let's get underway in our Madden simulation as Caleb Williams, Bryce Young. These two will be connected at the hip forever due to the famous Ryan Poles Bears-Panthers trade. We'll see how things go here today.
Yeah. Safe to say you want to be on this side of that trade.
So far it looks that way.
So far.
No doubt about it.
I will go out on a limb and say Chicago is on the leading side.
They won that. He'll go on a limb and say they won that trade.
Just a little bit of a limb.
Yeah, that's hot take calling. That's what we call them here. All righty.
Oh, man.
Is that supposed to be – is that Canales?
I think it is.
Because usually they have the coach from last season on there. And he was not the coach, but that definitely was not Frank Reich.
Yeah. Good Lord.
Bears are going to kick off to the Panthers here. We'll see what Bryce Young and Carolina can do in the early going here.
I'm going to go 21-17 Bears.
Ooh, tight game.
That's what I'm going to go with.
All right. Torrey Taylor set to kick it deep to Carolina as we get this game underway momentarily. Cole Kmet ready to go. Get those score predictions in. Manny says 42-17. Petey, 24-17 Panthers. We're going to choke. Don't say that, Petey. Jeff Bartlett says 27-13 Bears. What did I say, 27-16? I think that's what I said.
Yeah.
All right, Torrey Taylor boots it away to the goal line. Carolina bringing it out past the 20, not much more. Get to the 21, and that is where the Panthers offense will take over. Omar's Burner says 21-3 Panthers. That would be sickening. Let us know who you got. CHI for the Bears, CAR for the Panthers. Get your votes in. 100-0. 15-minute quarters maybe, Jonathan, but not in 6-minute quarters. All right, here we go. Bryce Young barking instructions in the huddle to his offense. Not a very good offense. They added some pieces this offseason. Young under center. He'll hand off. Chuba Hubbard left side. Oh, my God, he's getting the edge. Gets about 25 yards. It's like this every game, Cullen. The Bears' run defense starts slow, and then they tend to figure it out in the second half.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you got to set the tone early, especially against a team as inferior as the Panthers, and letting Chuba Hubbard run down the sideline scot-free is not the way to do it.
Yeah, that's not the answer. You want to make Bryce Young beat you. He's going to throw it this time. Deep ball, left side. Is that caught? It is.
It's Chuba.
Chuba Hubbard on a wheel route out of the backfield.
My
gosh. What up? $100 super chat. We'll get to daily basis here in just a moment.
Man, oh man.
Daily basis. Get the booms in the chat. Get the booms in. He says, what up, HG? I will miss the rest of the offseason because I will be at Army basic training, but just wanted to say thank you for being my favorite sports show on YouTube. I'll be excited to see Caleb and the boys take the field when I come back. Bear down, FGB, LFG. I'm going to respond to that in a second. He throws a pick in the end zone. Bryce Young does. There is a flag. We'll see what the call is here. Pass interference, defense.
Unbelievable.
Kyler Gordon. So instead of an interception, it's a first and goal at the 1. But I do want to get back to daily basis. Couple of things. One, thank you so much for representing our country there. That's awesome that you're doing that. Thanks to any of our troops that are watching out there. We appreciate you guys. Touchdown Panthers, by the way. And number 2, appreciate the love. I mean, every single one of you guys that tune in, it helps us grow, helps us keep this train rolling. And we will see you when you get back, daily basis. If you want to slide in my DMs, daily basis, and we can connect there as well, that'd be awesome. At HGramNFL, Twitter or Instagram, feel free to hit me up. All right, extra point is good. Not the start you're looking for, Colin, as the Panthers go straight down the field in about 4 plays.
Yeah, if that's the way their offense looks, then I might have to eat my words from the beginning of this.
Yeah, that was ugly.
Yeah.
That was ugly.
And again, man, I know I haven't been on this stream for so long, but during these Madden games, where the heck is Montez Sweat, man? I'm waiting for him to pop out.
Yeah, he hasn't popped much. Omar's Birder says 21-3, still alive. Not when Caleb Williams throws a touchdown pass here, Omar. All right, kickoff underway. Velus Jones back to receive it as he catches it 2 yards in the end zone. He'll bring it out. Makes the first man miss, but not much else. Gets to right around the 20, and that is where Caleb and the offense take over.
Yeah.
Here we go.
See, this is the fun part of the sim.
Yeah, the defense isn't that fun. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Predict what's going to happen here. Touchdown, field goal, punt, or turnover. Let's see.
I'm going to go with TD. You better be spamming those TDs in the chat.
Get the TDs. Need to respond. Williams in the shotgun. Swift to his right. Caleb takes the snap. 3-man rush. Throws left side. Caught. Going to be a gain of 12. DJ Moore. Type those ones. Type those ones. Bring up 1st and 10 at the 31. Williams under center. Hands it off. Swift. Gets about 3. He's 2nd and 7. Shout out to PD, NFL Productions, SB Gaming. Let's go. Williams in the gun. Swift to his left. Caleb hands it off. Swift has room. Gets a 1st down. Still going. Gets about 15. Call it 14. Type those ones. DeAndre Swift. Here we go. Here we go.
If Swift can really hit the ground running to start this year, it's going to open this offense up.
Yeah, he's kind of
much.
I've said it a couple times. I feel like he's kind of the forgotten man of these skill players. Like he could, if teams have to really respect the Bears' passing ability and he gets light boxes, he could really go to work. Gets 5 more there, so 3 straight carries for 22 yards. These Buster Olney tweets are wild. If y'all are watching this live on Monday, he's been hacked and some wild tweets coming out.
Yeah, bunch of bonks.
Williams in the gun, takes the snap, looking, throws into the flat right side, caught. Good leaping catch. I think that was Swift again. 4 straight touches for the running back who signed in free agency. Another 1st down. It's not going to happen, Omar. Not going to happen.
Oh, man.
All right, here we go. Caleb in the gun at the Panthers 40. Looking to respond. RPO, he's going to keep it. Zone read. He's got a lot of room. Yeah. Caleb Williams down to the 12. Gain of 25. 27 officially. Type those ones. Get the C-dubs in the chat.
Let's freaking go.
Little zone read action. Pulled it, and no Carolina defenders over there for about 20 yards.
Yeah. And I know it's Madden, so they don't quite do it the way you want to, but if he doesn't get out of bounds right there, I'm in actual football.
Yeah, or just slide down.
Or something. Drive me crazy.
1st and 10 at the 12. Williams looking, throws, incomplete. Thought he had a guy on the little drag to the right, but threw it left. It'll be 2nd and 10. Need to respond with the touchdown here. Defense got punched. You're looking to punch back. Williams hands it off to Swift. Still chugging along. Gets about 5. So 3rd and 5 at the 7. Kind of the full playbook. If you were planning to go on 4th down, you could run it here. Certainly throw it. Could run that zone read action again. We'll see what Shane Waldron dials up here.
Who would be your number 1 target in the red zone right here?
Man, I would say Komet or maybe Rome, honestly. Touchdown, Rome Odunze, right on cue. Beats his man on the slant and finds the end zone. I just think with his size, 6'2", 6'3", over 200 pounds, he might be a guy that, he may not threaten for 1,000 yards as a rookie with DJ and Keenan Allen, but it wouldn't shock me if he had like 6, 7, 8 touchdowns.
Yeah, just kind of as a situational, like, hey, we trust you, go get this jump ball potentially or whatever.
Yeah, back shoulders, all that type of stuff.
Right.
Good drive there for the Bears. Cairo Santos looking to tie it with the extra point. He does. Tied at 7.
Yeah.
Type those TDs. Jay Reezy, John, Ron. Get those TDs in the chat. Get those TDs in the chat. Torrey Taylor set to kick it off. As he boots it away. They're going to bring it out about 3 yards deep, past the 20, got some room, gets up to about the 30. Good return as Bryce Young and company come out for drive number 2. Let's get a stop here this time, fellas. Here we go. Bryce Young barking out instructions. For the second drive, Carolina went straight down the field in about 4 plays last drive.
Yeah, they were moving. Chuba Hubbard looked like prime Christian McCaffrey.
They ran this same stretch play, and it's going to work again.
What is going on?
I mean, they've run that same play for, about 50 yards on 2 carries?
Yeah.
I mean, that is not very good at all.
Someone sent it to Shane Waldron.
For real. That's no bueno. Young in the gun. Takes the snap. Quick slant. Oh, I thought that was going to be picked off by Gordon. He just wasn't ready. Man.
He read it, too.
He read it and just didn't get his hands up. That's disappointing.
Very.
That is disappointing to say the least. Well, straight down the field they're going. Young. That's going to be the end of the quarter. Tied at 7. Panthers threatening, though. If you want to get yourself a Caleb Williams jersey, you can do so at chatsports.com/Caleb. That link will take you to the Fanatics redirect, and you can purchase a Caleb Williams jersey. White, orange, navy, all available. Chatsports.com/Caleb. That is where you can purchase your jerseys today. All right, second quarter. Let's get that underway here as the Panthers, for the second drive in a row, are going straight down the field here. Bears defense not showing much resistance so far. Young under center. Going to drop back, looking, rolling. He's got to take off and scramble. Dives forward for about 4. Be 2nd and 6. Yeah, this Shohei thing's out of control.
Yeah.
Or this Olney thing. He had a Shohei tweet.
I didn't
Go skim through his Twitter. It is
good Lord.
Phenomenal. Bryce Young throws over the middle, caught, but only a yard. It's going to be 3rd down. I think it's the first 3rd down of the game for Carolina's offense. Type those 3s. Let's see what Dave Canales styles up here. 3rd and 5 at the 25. Young looking, throws. Oh, that was almost picked.
Did you see the most recent tweet?
Let me see. Panthers are going to have to kick the field goal.
Let's freaking go. Way to get a stop, Chicago.
Oh, the pole?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. That is brutal.
Some would say.
Damn brutal. All right. Field goal is good. At least you forced them to 3. 10-7 Carolina. 10-7 Carolina. Caleb getting loose, looking to respond with a field goal or a touchdown drive of his own.
Yeah. One thing I will say about Madden Sims, I feel like the first team that sells for a field goal, it usually doesn't end well for them.
Yeah, it's a good point. There's not a lot of just straight up stops. Like, there's not a lot of punts happening here.
No. Not at all.
Bayless Jones Jr. back to receive the kickoff as it is underway.
Show me something, Bayless.
Bring it out from 2 yards in the field of play. Not much blocking there. It doesn't even know. They are going to give him the 20. Generous spot. All right, here comes Caleb Williams in the offense for drive number 2. Pretty quick touchdown drive last time out. We'll see if they can do that again. Williams in the shotgun. Panthers showing blitz. We'll see if they back off it or not. They bring 5. They're going to hand it off. Swift tries to bounce it. Gets maybe 4. Yeah, we'll give him 4. He's got 31 yards on 5 carries. Getting 6 a tote.
I don't know if Chuba Hubbard's own mother would say that Chuba would be better than DeAndre Swift next year. But according to Madden.
I'll say Chuba's, when McCaffrey would either be hurt or now since he's left, he's been decent. But yeah, better than Swift, I don't know. Williams throws over the middle, caught for an easy first down. Keenan Allen, type those ones. That's Keenan Allen range. It's underneath over the middle.
Yeah. I think that could be one of the challenges for the Bears this year is that, I think they're going to clearly move the ball down the field. It's just whenever it gets into those kind of tight situations, who are you going to go to? For contested catches and all that stuff. So.
Oh, man, DeAndre Swift stuffed that time, loses a yard, closer to 2.
Yeah.
Bring up 2nd and long. Make Jones a running back. I've always thought Velus Jones would be a better running back than receiver because he doesn't catch the ball that well and he doesn't track the ball that well. But when he gets the ball in his hands, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
2nd and 11, Williams in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Zone read, keeps it. Williams breaks a tackle, gets about 8. Thought if he bounced that a little wider, he might be able to get the edge and get a first down. Kind of cut that up. Still an effective run.
Yeah. Oh, man.
3rd and 3 here. Don't want to get stopped and have to punt this football back. Williams hands it off. Swift. I thought he cut the wrong way. And now it's going to be 4th and inches. What do you do? You're at your own 46. I'd probably go, but if you don't get it, you're giving them the ball on your side. Knowing the Madden Sims, I bet they punt.
Yeah.
Which would suck.
I'm about to say.
We'll see if Flus is a coward or not.
Yeah.
He is.
Unbelievable.
Torrey Taylor going to punt. Unbelievable. Boots this one away. That looked like a shank. It was actually decent. Out of bounds at the Panthers 13. And now you need the defense to get a stop, Cullen. 3 at most. You can't go down 10, especially if it's going into halftime.
Yeah. I agree. No, it's just
Bears sleepwalking a little bit today after a 3-1 start. Maybe a little trap game here.
Yeah. I think they're kind of almost too loyal to the run game at this point.
Yeah.
I'd love to see some more passes in the second half.
Sling the rock. All right, let's see if the defense can get a quick stop, get the ball back. Young hands it off. Chuba, nothing doing that time. Let's say no gain. That looked like a loss of a yard or 2. That'll be the 2-minute warning, more than likely. See if they get a playoff here. Doesn't look like they're gonna. 2-minute warning.
Those
Bears have all 3 timeouts, so we'll see if they can get a stop and get the football back and still have some time. Young in the shotgun on 2nd and 10. Takes a snap, 4-man rush, all day to throw, left side, incomplete. Once again, nothing doing from Montez Sweat. Good coverage from TJ Edwards.
You going to Tommy Trimble on that one?
3rd and 10. Get those 3s in the chat. Let's get a stop, fellas. Timothy. Yeah, I see ya. We'll take your questions. Timothy. Oh, my God. Hubbard breaks a tackle, but luckily nothing doing after that. Bears get a timeout.
Yeah. I'm freaking picking up Chuba Hubbard in fantasy this year, confirmed.
Just based on this Madden sim?
That alone.
He has to be a stud.
Has to be.
All right, Bears are going to get the football back. Good response from the defense after the offense stalled out. Still will have 2 timeouts as well in about a minute 40, minute 45. Tyler Scott back to receive the punt at his own 35. Gets up to about the 41. And that's about it. Yeah, if you have any questions, fire them away. Hashtag Bears or Super Chat. We'll get to as many as we can. All right, 1st and 10 for the Bears offense, 59 yards away from the end zone. Caleb Williams in the shotgun. Expect him to throw a lot more here. He'll throw on first down. Over the middle. Caught. A little seam pattern. Sometimes you can't tell exactly where they're throwing. Rome Odunze, big gainer there of about 25 or so.
Yeah.
That was nice. That was a laser from Caleb.
Yeah, it was. You got to make those passes in the NFL, and if Madden tells you anything, he's able to do it. So.
Minute 20 and counting. Ball at the Panthers 35-36. Caleb in the gun. Takes the snap. 4-man rush. Looking. Throws. Slant over the middle. Caught. Gain of 6. Bears not going to use a timeout here. I would guess on their next, if there's another short completion, they would. Under a minute to go now. 2 timeouts left. Plenty of time at the Panthers 30. Yeah. Williams in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Looking. Steps up. Throws over the middle. Caught. Still going is Rome Odunze to the 14. Actually, that's Keenan Allen. 35, 34. I would probably, there's a timeout at 33.
Yeah.
So.
Got a question from John in the chat. I think Odunze is going to have a 1,000-yard season. What do you think?
I don't think it's impossible. I'd be pretty surprised. That's a lot for any rookie receiver, much less when you have Keenan Allen and DJ Moore ahead of you in the pecking order. So I would say no, but it wouldn't completely shock me if he came in and lit it up. Matt Eberflus named him out of everybody who impressed him most at minicamp, so they clearly like where he's at. Williams steps up, throws, caught. Odunze almost with the second touchdown. Gets down to the 1, so got one timeout, 22, 21, 20. We've seen bad clock management before, Cullen, when they didn't get a playoff in week 2 against the Texans.
Will it repeat
Get
itself?
up there. 10, 9, 8, 7, snap. End zone, Williams, touchdown, thank goodness.
Let's freaking go.
DeAndre Swift with 3 seconds left, I'm guessing? Man, that was dicey. That was dicey, but a clutch 2-minute drill from Caleb Williams in the offense as Swift beats the linebacker and finds the end zone. Woo!
Freaking go, man.
That's big because now you got a chance to sandwich them. You score at the end of the half and you get the ball to start the second half. Yeah, 4 seconds left. So even if he got tackled, they would have been able to use the last time out, but they would have had to kick. Santos knocks in the extra point. 5 plays, 59 yards, and a touchdown drive for Caleb Williams in the offense.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I know they're not the same caliber player, not even close to the same situation, but Rashee Rice, it took him almost a half season just to really come on for Kansas City, who had, outside of Travis Kelce, no one in the receiving core. Yeah. And then you're also asking Odunze to go up against Keenan Allen and DJ Moore for targets.
Yeah.
So
I think it's more than anything, it's just there's so many mouths to feed. Komet's going to get targets. Yeah. Everett's going to get targets. So Swift is going to get some targets.
It's going to be a lot, man.
It's kind of an ideal situation for Rome because if he does have a good rookie year, even if it's not super high volume, then, you probably just let Keenan Allen walk next year and get a comp pick for him. All right, third quarter set to get underway as it is 14-10 at the half. We do have some Rome Odunze jerseys available if you want to get his jersey as well. Chatsports.com/Rome. That link will be in the comments and description of this video, chatsports.com/Rome. Continue to let us know, are you enjoying these Madden Sims? Y for yes, in for no. Let us know Y for yes or in for no. Love hearing the feedback on either side of the spectrum. All right, let's get to the second half as the Bears finished the first half on a high note and lead 14-10 as they'll look to make this a 2-score lead as they get the ball to start the second half.
Getting a lot of Ys in the chat. Shout out to 2024, NFL Prods, Ron, Jay, Tyler, Apostle, and Scott. Appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Let's go.
Yeah. Like I said, it's not the real thing, but hey,
Filling time.
Yeah. John with another question. How likely is Randolph Jr. from Illinois, likely to make the 53-man roster.
I liked the pickup as a UDFA and thought and I still think he has a shot, but it's been a little quiet around him at OTAs and minicamp. I know there's almost 90 players, so it's hard to get like hardcore reporting on every player, but I'm surprised we haven't heard his name really at all. So we'll see. I think there's a chance.
Yeah.
Bayless Jones going to sit on that one 4 yards deep in the end zone. So Bears will start at the 25.
NFL Prod says it feels like the NFL season with your commentary.
Be here before we know it.
Yeah. Shout out to you, sir. It's good, Christian.
Be here before we know it. All right. Williams in the shotgun, 1st and 10 at the 25. Takes the snap, Swift, left side, cuts in, gets a first down and more, up to the 41. Gain of 16. Type those ones. Type those ones.
What was the question? In your heart, how do you think the Bears will finish the season? From Brax.
I think they'll be a playoff team. I'm not ready to give a hardcore how far will they go in the playoffs prediction, but I do think they'll be a playoff team. I think they'll be, I think they'll win 9, 10, 11 games, 12 if a lot goes right. I picked 11. If I had to guess, 10 or 11. And I think they'll be a playoff team. I think making the playoffs is a realistic goal, and I don't think it's crazy to say if you predicted they would win a playoff game either. Stuffed on that one, so now it's going to be 3rd and 6. Clear passing down for Caleb in the offense. Panthers looking to get the ball back down 4.
How many kickoff returns will the Bears take to the house this season from Scott?
To the house?
To the house.
I'd set the over-under at 1.5 because there will be a lot more returns this year. I'll take the under, but I think there will be 1. If Bayless makes the team, I think he'll house 1. Cole Kmet, all reliable, catches the first down. Type those ones. Yeah, Jackson, you can. Got a question, you can ask. Fire away. You 1st and 10 at the 46.
This question's funny.
John, time will tell, John. Williams throws, left side, caught. DJ Moore breaks a tackle. Oh, he fumbled! Oh, I got out of bounds.
Thank the
DJ rarely puts the ball on the turf, but he did there. Luckily, the ball squirted out of bounds.
Yeah. I will say, knowing Roley, probably. Probably.
Who knows? You never know with old Roley. That'd be sick, T-Mag. Williams in the gun for 1st and 10. Hands it off. Swift stuffed.
Yeah.
Good tackle from Josie Jewell. He's 2nd down.
Along with questions, Jackson, we'll get to yours in just a second. Drop down below in the chat. When's the last time you played Madden? Like, which version of Madden was the last Madden you played?
I've actually played this most recent one a little.
Yes.
Before that, it'd been a while. Caleb throws left side wide open. DJ Moore on the curl. Picks up 14. Type those ones.
Nice.
Jackson, on his rookie contract, I do think that's the goal. I think the way they've rebuilt this roster, it was with the intention of, if Justin Fields doesn't work out, with a rookie quarterback, being able to do that while he's on that rookie deal because you have more roster flexibility. So I would answer that question with I hope so, and I think it's possible. It's hard to say without seeing this team play at least a game. Swift picks up 5. That'll bring up 2nd and 5 at the 14. Touchdown here, Colin, already down to 2:40 in the 3rd quarter. Could be borderline insurmountable lead for the Bears. Panthers would have to work quickly.
I'll say yes to Jackson's question. I'll put
love
the good vibes in the air.
I love it.
I love it. Let's see. So Madden, like I said, mine was also the most recent. NFL
Swift
Prods
gets a first down. Juke move. Down to the 2.
NFL Prod says Madden 23. Apostle says Madden 2. Okay. 2024 says Madden 23. Jay says Madden 11 was goated. That's throwback.
I don't even. Who was on the Madden 11 cover?
That was
that the Fitzgerald split one?
I was gonna say I think it is.
Williams under center, hands off. Roschon.
Touchdown.
Roschon Johnson. They bring in the goal line back who could potentially play that role this year, and he plunges forward as the Bears take a 10-point lead, extra point pending, type TD, like T-Mag and Trump did. Isn't Joe Burrow supposed to be on the cover? Well, if you're watching live on Monday, it hasn't been announced. My theory was Travis Kelce. Just with all the Swift mania. But I saw someone else say both Travis and Jason Kelce. I just don't think they're going to put Jason on there because he's retired now.
Yeah. Be pretty sweet.
Burrow would be interesting. He didn't play much last year. He was hurt, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't
last year was the Mahomes-Brady split, right? Or was that 2 years ago?
I think it was 2 years
ago.
Was
it
Lamar
Drew Brees
was the cover of Madden 11, by the way. So that's shout out to Nate.
Was it Lamar this past year, or was he a few years ago? Hard to keep up. Josh Allen. Good call in the chat.
Yeah, it was Josh Allen, yep.
Kickoff to the goal line. Tackled at the 21. All right, defense. Let's go.
Again, Montez Sweat, if you're playing in this game, love to see you. Love to talk about you.
Yeah, a little strip sack. That'd be nice.
Yeah. Hashtag some future show ideas. After each episode of Hard Knocks, would love to hear your analysis and what's realistic and what's BS.
That's probably in the cards. Haven't planned that out exactly yet, but we'll have a plan for that. Harrison, can you help save my marriage? Also, why does your beard look so good? Tell us your secrets. Oh my God, Chuba. I mean, the guy looks like Barry Sanders.
That's what I'm saying. Golly.
I don't know if I have any secrets for the beard. It's just you're either born with this or you're not. As far as saving your marriage, I'm not a marriage counselor. I hope you're being sarcastic, but if you're not, I would advise counseling. Paid professionals can help you out there. Young hands it off, right side. Hubbard again.
Jeez.
Carolina's O-line isn't this good, by the way.
No, they're not. No, they are not. Man, oh man.
You guys think Kale will be on the cover? Oh, on a Madden cover. I think he's a pretty good candidate.
Yeah.
Could Stroud be on it this year? Wouldn't shock me.
That would be a good one. Okay.
Oh my God, Hubbard again.
Jeez.
He's getting 10 a pop here.
Yeah. 8 rushes for 82 yards. Yeah.
He's doing good, Christian. He's killing it, man.
Oh man.
He's killing it. Don't get married, top tier advice. It's not for everybody, but I'll say this. Don't get married if you're even slightly unsure. But if you are, it's an awesome thing. Young hands it off. Hubbard, not much, but it will be a first down. What's he up to? 83 yards on 9 carries? Is that what that said?
Something like that.
That's 9 a pop.
Yeah. That's freaking ridiculous, man.
Charlie, I think you're just trolling.
Into the quarter.
Get your 4s up. Fourth quarter time. Get your 4s up. Bears up 21-10. I did have 27-16, so not really in play.
Mine's 21-17, so.
Yeah, we'll see. Young throws underneath, caught. Hubbard, their whole team today, picks up 9. I mean, he's got to have 70% of their total yards.
Yeah.
You got Trump, NFL Productions, JNev, PD, Edward, Devin. The Notcast says, why couldn't we keep Foreman as our goal line back? I mean, they could have re-signed him, but he gives you nothing on special teams. So, whereas Roschon and Khalil Herbert's a more consistent runner, so that's why. Incomplete, so it is third down, 3rd and 1. Snap Hubbard's femur, Tremaine Edmonds from Slant Donkey in the chat. I'm not advocating for injuries, but I would like them to slow him down. 3rd and 1, here we go. Bryce Young in the shotgun. Guess who? Chuba picks up 4.
Yeah, this offensive line's. We need to check.
I didn't realize that Akeem Ekwonu was good all of a sudden.
Oh yeah,
he's a modern day Orlando Pace.
I'm about to say Anthony Munoz reincarnated. Good Lord.
Julian says, I told my girl Caleb Williams is more of a priority than her, and she got a little mad.
Don't know if that would fall under the marriage advice category.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Young dumps it off. Hubbard.
Good Lord.
I mean, for these 6-minute quarters, this is a heavy dosage of Chuba Hubbard.
Very heavy dosage.
He's got 3 catches for 43 yards. I think he's run for close to 100 yards. This would be a big fantasy performance.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
1st and 10 at the 34. Young takes the snap. Looking, throws underneath, caught at the 25. Here we go. Young in the shotgun.
Jamal Lewis back there, someone says.
Jamal Lewis, good call. Takes the snap. Looking, throws, incomplete. That was terrible. That was a duck.
Now that's the Bryce Young that I know.
Yeah. He had to, loft it because he couldn't see over the line.
Man. Feel free to keep asking those questions, man. We love talking about them.
Yeah, we'll keep chatting it up. Let's force a field goal here, fellas. If they score a touchdown, it gets a little dicey. Young, looking, still looking, throws into traffic, somehow caught for a first down. Not only was it caught, he also broke a tackle and picked up 11. Jeez.
That was Deontay Johnson, by the way. Golly.
Edward says, trying to convince my wife to go to Bears-Titans with me. So far, no go. Yeah, it's a tough one sometimes. Tickets can cost a lot of money. If you have to travel, it adds up. Bryce Young, 1st and 10 at the 15. Young, all day, dumps it off, caught, gain of 6. Bring up 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. Here we go. Here we go.
More interceptions this season. Stevenson or Gordon?
I'll say Stevenson. He takes more chances. Young, looking, throws, end zone. Caught. Touchdown, Carolina. I would guess a 2-point conversion pending, which actually would keep my 28, or I said 27-16. Nah, that's probably dead. But I could be close. Man, here we go. They're going for 2. I'd just give it to Chuba.
I'm actually pissed because I'm 1 off of mine. But because they're going for 2, I'm not going to get it.
Yeah, it can't happen. Hubbard,
Gosh.
not going to get there, so that eliminates the field goal. I don't think they'll go onside kick with 3:16 to go or 3:14 to go and all 3 timeouts. 13 plays, 78 yards on that drive, and a touchdown. The Chuba Hubbard show.
They went to prime Walter Payton and unfortunately didn't get in.
It's the Walter Payton show. Unfortunately, he's wearing Carolina colors.
Yeah.
Things you hate to see.
Hate to see it.
All right, here we go. Need a few first downs if you're the Bears offense, assuming they kick it deep here. Yeah, looks like they're going to kick it deep. Shouldn't be a surprise. Here we go. Let's see if Valus brings it out. He will. 1 yard deep. Doesn't even get to the 20. Oh, boy. This could be dicey, Colin, if they go 3 and out.
Could be. Again, don't be afraid to go to the pass here, but
This could be dicey.
Could be. If Bryce and CJ switched teams last year, would Bryce thrive and CJ struggle? It's not as simple as that, in my opinion. Could he may have done better under Bobby Slowick? Sure, but I don't know, man.
Caleb, empty set on first down. Well, that'll work. Komet, gain of 10 in the first. Type those ones. What was that question, Colin, that we got?
It was if CJ and Bryce switched teams last year.
I see. I definitely think Bryce would have been better and CJ would have been worse based on situation, but I still think CJ would have been the better player overall.
Yes.
100%. But there's no doubt Bryce Young walked into a horrific situation.
I also agree.
Caleb going to throw again on first down. Caught again.
Yeah. It's just one of those things. Like if If you think about just like any sort of job, if your boss is kind of incompetent the way Tepper is in Carolina, chances are that usually rots its way down through the organization.
I mean, when you really look back at that trade, they clearly were desperate for a franchise quarterback, which is fine, but you can't trade away his top potential weapon at 25 years old and DJ Moore to get him. Yeah. Like, that was just brutal. Swift gets a carry, bring up 2nd and 6. One more first down pretty much does it. Yeah. Carolina uses its first timeout. Yeah. You get a first down here, you can pretty much put this game on rest.
John asks, how about Cullen and Harrison do a beer bong if the Bears win? I'll tell you this. Harrison, you can pick the number. If we get a super chat of a certain amount, I'm down to raise Harrison.
We're at 328 total. If we get to 350, we can do a race on the way out of here. So 22 more total dollars. I'll race. I wasn't gonna drink today, but I'll throw one down if we get to 350 total. Swift gets the first down. Timeout Panthers. So technically they could get the ball back with under 30 seconds left here because they have one timeout left. But this game is all but over. Just got to take care of the ball. Caleb Williams hands it off. Swift, ball security, hangs onto it, timeout. So, quick math. Yeah. Minute 20 would come off the clock here on the next two plays, so they'd be punting with about 30 seconds left. So, as long as nothing crazy happens, this game's pretty much over. Williams under center. Presumably will hand off. He does. Swift. And that'll ice it. First down Bears. There it is. That's going to do her. That'll do it. As the Bears will improve to 4-1 in these Madden Sims. Carolina was scrappy today, but not quite enough.
Yeah, a generational performance from Chuba Hubbard was not enough to beat the Bears.
Yeah. Caleb takes a knee. He'll take one more, and that'll be the game. Type dub in the chat. One more kneel down, and this game is over. And there it is. Bears win 21-16 over the Panthers. Type dub down in the chat. Surely the Madden Sim won't actually have them snap the football here because the clock's running out, but I've seen crazier things. They're lining up. I don't expect them to snap it.
No, yeah. I don't think so either.
All right, there it is. Jay Reezy, Christian, Adam, Team Bag. 4-1 on the Madden season as Flus is loving it, Canales is hating it. All right, appreciate everybody tuning in to that stream as I stumble over my words here. Hit that subscribe button if you're a fan of the Chicago Bears. We cover this team on a daily basis. We mix in these Madden Sims every once in a while as well during the slow time of the year as we're going through the entire 2024 schedule. Next live sim will be on Thursday, June the 13th, as the Bears go across the pond to take on the Jags in London. We will see you then. Bear down. All right.
Bang.
We're about to get out of here. 4-1. Good start.
Yeah.
Carolina, they were scrappy.
They were.
They were scrappy, but not quite enough. You guys still enjoying the Madden Sims? Y for yes, N for no?
Seen a lot of Y's. Shout out to Julian, Jay, Augustin, Matthew, Jake. Shout out to PD, Christian.
Scott. What's up? Oh. We got Steven, Big Boss, Ron Winarski, Chef.
Yeah.
Get those Y's in. All right, we're going to get out of here. Shout out to Cullen for producing. Appreciate everybody for tuning in to the show. We'll have more videos on the channel moving forward, so be on the lookout for that and subscribe. See you soon. Bear down.